Hello everyone, how are you? I am super excited for today. I have not gone live in like forever. Let me just go and tag in. Where are we? The beautiful Alex. So yeah, if you're watching, come on up and please say hello. If you're catching the replay, then hashtag truth, because today I'm doing something really different to what I would normally do. And if you've caught my previous posts or my recent posts, you'll see that I've literally burnt down all the energetics of my business that was very successful last year. So you think, why on earth am I doing that? Why am I burning it all down? That's for another life. But out of that burn down, out of that like rising from the ashes, phoenix from the ashes, so to say, I am head deep into the empowerment of women, helping to reunite them back with their truth and sinking into my business where there's more fun, more play, more creativity, like what lights me up, and getting away from the mundane of all the stuff I thought I should be doing and entering into this space where it just opens up now, where I'm sitting in my truth and being who I am, like who I normally am, and just really expressing into that. And so what I've created and what's come to me is I love having conversations with other incredible, truthful, empowered women. And so I've just jumped straight in. There's nothing professional about this. There's been no graphics done. There's been absolutely nothing done apart from a great conversation with the lady Alexandra Marie, who I'm going to bring on any moment. And we're just going to riff off for probably, I don't know, anything between half an hour and an hour, just to, come on, start to dig into the truth of who we are as these empowered women, for who you are. So my intention for this is that you feel empowered, you feel lit up, that you resonate with some of the stories. Maybe you're like, yes, I feel really good now. Like, I remember who I am. I remember my truth just by being around myself and Alex. If you're loving the conversation, please share it out there on the online space. And let me just take 2 seconds to introduce myself. If you've never met me before, then hi, I am Claire Chapman and I am CEO of my own business, helping women, like I say, reuniting women back to their truth so they can stand in their own power. And the way that's very unique for me is how I do that is through soul to soul conversations. So your human may not understand why you're coming into my world, but there's something they're feeling inside that will pull you into my world. And it's through great soul to soul conversations that we end up understanding, oh yes, I understand this, because I am an empowered channel. So look, without further ado, as they would say, I'm going to bring on Alex and let's just go riff and see where this conversation goes, which I'm super excited about. So Alex is incredible woman that I've been in the online space with probably for, I'm not sure how long, few months now. I've met Alexandra and her energy is just like so friggin' amazing. We're so similar in so many different ways. Hey Alex, how are you?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Loving the hairs. Look at this. Off to the side.
I know. We have like the same vibe today. It's like yesterday's curls that got slept in, worked out, and all the things. I'm just like, we're just going with it.
I love it. Well, first of all, Alex, thanks so much for joining us today. Like I say, this is like our first episode of our Soul Truth conversation. So thank you for saying yes. And
yes.
Alex, just go ahead for a little bit and introduce yourself and tell ladies who you are, what you're up to, what do you do?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for having me on. This is so fun. So I'm Alex. For those of you who don't know me, I've been in the online space for probably about 12 years now. Different businesses, different things. I think all in all, I teach sales, copywriting, and all that fun stuff. So I know it's like so simple. I used to always give like this really long definition, but that's what I do. Aside from what I do, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm an Aries. I don't know. I'm just Alex, and I'm here for the conversations, here for the truth. Tend to be outspoken, tend to be activating. So hopefully, if you're here for that, I know Claire loves it, and I love being with Claire to talk about that stuff too. So you're in the right space.
I love it. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, absolutely love you. So I'm Pisces, you're Aries. I'm by human design, so I don't hold back on anything. I think that's like, you know, part of my superpower is like just to speak the truth. And, you know, I think it really helps, you know, both of us when we do speak our truth, that we're almost allowing other people who maybe don't feel confident with that, like we're just giving you permission. Like, and I love what you were saying, Alex, about, you know, I used to have all these long titles and it used to be I do this and I do that. We were having a conversation with one of our girls the other night, because through the schooling system, she was really stressing out because the school was trying to, you know, encourage her for higher grades and things like this. And it was really putting pressure and tension on her. And it was like, we basically had the conversation and said, look, you are not a grade to us. You are not a title to us. You are who you are. And I think that really rolls into what you were saying. Like, yeah, there's so many women get caught up with what do they do and who are they? And it's like, do you know what? You are who you are. And that's enough.
Absolutely. And I have so many clients too. They're like, but what's my I help statement? Like, what do I tell people that I do? It's like, why the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
Why does it matter? Like, you're you, and like your energy is going to speak so much louder than your I help statement or your elevator pitch. Like, yeah, does it help you get clarity? Sure, but it's probably more for you than anybody else. Because if you're writing, anyways, that's another conversation. But yeah, we put so much into our labels and who we are and what we stand for and all the things. And it's almost like putting on a mask and like, this is who I am. That like, but yeah,
but it's not. Yeah, this is what you know, definitely out on the online space, women are getting tripped up with these statements and what they do, and they're overcomplicating it. And it's just like, but you're not that title. Like, I really love to step this back and like come back to who we are as we are source energy. Like, if you're stripping everything away, source energy, we know we're having this human experience. Hey Bria, by the way, thanks for joining us. Yeah, if you're watching, just come on, say hi. And if you've got any questions or you want to, you know, interrupt with a comment, then just go for it. We'll all open here. So Alex, I would love to know what, so I'm all about the truth, okay? And a lot of people may go, you know, oh, that's too fluffy. And what on earth does that actually mean? For me, it's about being an empowered woman. Hey, Bria. Yeah, love you too. About being an empowered woman. I'd love to talk about this because when I was talking through this with somebody and I said, you know, what does empowerment mean to them? And they came back and said, well, really powerful. And I was like, no, we're missing the show here. I love to connect with source. And this is what came through back end of last year. Like, an empowered woman is a woman that is plugged into source energy. She's plugged into her truth. And I think there's been a misconcept throughout time and through generations for a woman that in order for them to be empowered, they feel like they need to be powerful, which is the masculine energy, the like shout louder to be heard, the perform bigger to be seen. And so that for me is like, when you're empowered, you're in your truth. Like, you get to speak your truth. You get to wear whatever you want. You get to shave your head. You get to do whatever you want, say whatever you want, do whatever you want, but knowing that you're safe in that space because you're empowered. That's what it is for me. I would love to know, what is your version of you being empowered, being plugged in, and what is your truth? How do you describe yourself when you're in your truth?
So I feel like I've had so many versions of truth, but the one that I feel like is home and where I landed, I would say is so spot on to like what you said. It's not I can scream louder. I can, you know, throw around my accolades. I can, you know, be the person with the most attention in the room, with the most money, the most thing, like whatever it is. It's almost like this quiet, confident, just like sovereignty. It's complete detachment from what anything means about me, or like complete detachment from people's opinions. If I'm hurting their feelings, it's me showing up and just honestly and authentically being in my truth, which to me is saying what I want, honoring my values, and honestly playing by my rules.
I love it.
Like, and they change all the time. And I feel like, you know, that truth shows up differently in different conversations, different people I'm around. But overall, it's like, for me, I've noticed as I get older, I love myself more. I appreciate myself more. I trust myself more. Hello, hello.
Hi. Hello.
And it's just like this, like, it's this quiet, just obvious, like, of course it always works out. I always get what I want. Like, of course it does. Like, how
Yeah.
could it not? How could it not? Like, and it's
Yeah.
just like this quiet truth. I would say, I wish I had like a better example sometimes, but
So
um
what's just coming through is, for me, is like, from what I'm hearing from you, and I'd love to say it this way, but tell me if this isn't right, but it is like a knowing. It's a
yeah,
feeling. It's a
a
felt
knowing.
knowing, like you say, it just can't go any other way. It just,
Yeah, it's a knowing,
everything's
it's a
working out.
certainty, it's an obviously, it's just this quiet, like, truth, this knowing, this unshaking, unwavering, it's like just rooted, grounded, just, yeah. And it is just that, like, there's just nothing else. It's almost like done.
Right.
Like, yeah.
It's done. It's checked. Yeah, I absolutely love that. So how does that help you then when you're stood in your truth? How does that help you in your life and your business?
Well, we'll start with business, because I know a lot of people are following you for business, and probably myself too. Um, it's trust in what I offer, trust in how I move. Um, that knowingness shows up in, like, the belief of myself, because people buy your certainty. We all essentially sell the same thing. It's some degree of manifestation, spirituality, money, business, or whatever. And we just kind of, like, our flair is where our X factor, our zone of genius comes in, and where we really tend to have a lot of fun. And that becomes our playground. But at the end of the day, people buy your certainty, and they buy, do I want to be like her? And not as
Right.
necessarily in a copycat version, but it's like, do I want the life that she has? Do I want the kind of business that she has? Like, and people are really good at bullshitting. Like, well, not bullshitting. People have really good bullshit detectors. We think
Right.
that they don't, but they do. And so it's like, you can read through the, like, cracked out, like, hyped out energy and, like, charisma, which I can be notorious for sometimes myself. Just but when I do, I try to be really fucking authentic and real, versus, like, in a manipulative way to try and get, to get a reaction or get something out of it.
Yeah.
But people just, like, when you own that certainty and that truth in yourself, you trust yourself to move. You don't look left and right to see, what so and so is doing, and, oh, they launched this offer, maybe I should launch my offer like this, or, like,
Right.
you're not like, oh, well, they charge that, can I really charge this? There's no, like, question, like, oh, I hired my prices, but now I kind of feel the nudge to lower them, so, is that okay? What are people going, like, there's just none of that. It's just like, I feel it and I move. And
Right.
it's literally as basic as, like, I'm thirsty, let's get a drink of water. Done. There's
Right.
no extra thought. It's just, and so I feel like when you do that in business, people tend to watch you, because trust and certainty is something they completely lack. They
Right.
can say that they have it, but I can read you from a mile away if you do or don't.
It's like the post, isn't it? Like, you read so many posts and you can write the words, but underneath there's an energy, and there is a knowing, and it's just like, yeah, it's right, move on. I love what you were saying, because especially what you do, like with your content and your X Factor and things like that. There are so many women on the online space doing what you're doing, and
Absolutely.
I've been in other courses as well. I know, I'm with you in your beta testing right now of a program, and I've done this stuff before. But there was something like being with you, I was like, no, I just love Alex, like, this is great, and so much is popping out from that,
Yeah.
because of who you are. And it's like, when women can really understand this, your clients are not buying what you do, they're buying, like, when you're
Right.
in your energy, like, you activate women, I activate women, I empower women, I
Yep.
remind them of their truths. Like, when they're in my energy, they remember who they are at this soul
Absolutely.
truthful level. When we're in your space, we're just like, we're flying, like, we're activated, it's just like, yeah, there's no crap to be taken, and you just get to make all your decisions. And it's funny, you were saying about prices. I've literally lowered almost just under half my pricing now recently, but for no other reason than, do you know what, this feels really good right now, this is what I want to
That
do.
was the number that came through. Yeah, that's the aligned number. If you were to keep it high, for whatever reason, or low, it goes both ways. Like, what is that, like, where is that coming from? You know, a lot of people, like, there's the argument online. They're like, well, if you lower your prices, like, you're lowering your self-worth, you're lowering your standards. Not necessarily, not for everything, because who's to say that that price doesn't linger next time around or for a different, like, who knows, right? So just, it's kind of like, please shut up. but like, but I always tell, like, my clients too, it's like, what I teach and what most people teach online, you can Google, you can YouTube, it's out there. Like, everything that I teach, copywriting, sales, you can go to the library, you can learn buying psychology for free, you can listen to podcasts. There's so many things out there. In my content, I literally teach you what I teach in my stuff. There's zero actual reason for you to sign up with me other than, like, you want to have fun, you want to be in my energy, you want to collaborate together, you want to brainstorm together, you want to chit chat together. I mean, I have two examples. It's like the content, like, you can get my content minus me, or like my program minus me, and it's kind of like downloading the album on Spotify. But if you have me there, it's like going to the concert. It's a different vibe. Or it's like your vibrator versus sex with a great fucking partner. Like, you'll get what you want. It'll do the job for sure, but like, it's gonna be a lot more fucking fun if I'm involved. So,
which is like huge lessons. Like, let's just talk about right now, like investing. When people are investing, like, and I made this mistake, and I'm sure you've made this mistake, is like, you go through, you see everybody, you know, who's successful, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to hire them because when I do this and that, and when I've done this program, then that will happen. And I've fallen on my face like that many times from investing in that place. And so it's like, anybody who's investing, like, make sure when you're in the energy of that coach, that healer, the medium, whatever you're signing up to, like, that there's an internal pull. And this is why I say, like, my human clients, they come to me and they're in the inboxes and they're like, I don't know why I'm here. And I'm like, well, we will find out, because your human doesn't know. I don't work with humans. Like, I work through the human, but I work with the soul. Now, every time I've done that for myself from investing, the last few times where I'm like, I don't know why I'm here, and you know, coach go, what do you want from me? What do you? I'm like, I don't know. I'll tell you afterwards why I was with you. And it may be a lesson. It may be like, boo, like a aha moment. There may be a shift. There may be a new perspective to be seen. Like, and when we're fully open, we get way more than what we ever expect.
Yes, 100,000%.
My last coach, like, I wasn't getting things from the training, but what I got from that was like my amazing online business manager I met through her. My coach became my client. Like, I got visibility. It wasn't about the thing that she was selling. And
I've had so many clients who come through, like, I've had this experience myself, like, where I would hire people throughout my careers to, like, because I thought that they had a secret key, they had an answer, it was something that I was missing. And, you know, we're kind of taught, at least in the US, and I'm sure most people too, it's kind of like, sit down, shut up, and be quiet. When somebody's teaching, you listen, and you don't question it. And then you get into the entrepreneurial field, and if you sit down, shut up, and be quiet, and you listen to what somebody else is teaching, you're out of business. Like, people aren't hiring you, because then you become a copycat, you become hesitant, you become all the things. So when I was in that state of hiring coaches to help me with my stuff, I was still putting them on this pedestal of, like, they have the answer and I don't have it. Now, I learned, so I've never had, like, a terrible experience by any means that I would ever say with coaches. Like, I always got what I needed. Like what you said, sometimes you think that, like, you're going to go in and you're going to learn, you know, say copywriting or something, but, like, then you actually, like, get permission on your, like, you give yourself permission to own your truth, show up differently, talk about the things you actually want to talk about, whatever it was. There's always something in there. So there's always transformation. And that's another thing that I try not to do, is lead with money, because I can't promise you're going to make 6 figures if you work with me. I can tell you this stuff will give you the foundation, but at the end of the day, it's just like a workout program. If you don't go to the gym, you don't eat right, you're not going to get the results. So
exactly. Yeah. And I think so many people who are starting out on the online space, or maybe they've been in the online space for years and they're not, you know, receiving the clients or the money. Like, I've done this myself, like, taken on that pressure that I need to get my client result, or my client must have a breakthrough, or whatever that is. And it was only, like, you know, through understanding that all I do for my clients is, like, I have a conversation with their soul. They get to come to me, talk to me, and I can reflect back to them through channeling what their soul is trying to tell them, what's in the way for them, what is it. You know, I helped one lady raise from, she wanted to go from 250k a month to 500, but actually through the communication, the conversation we were having, her soul was telling me that it's too low, she needs to go for the 800 a month. And when she started sinking into that energy, she stepped into her truth. She was lit up, like, but she was thinking with the logical mind, with the human mind. The human mind does logical steps, does what I could possibly sort of make, you know, or do this thing. And so I love having those soul to soul conversations where we basically move the human out the way. We set her up. She was so on fire with like 800k a month. It was just not what she could see. And it's like, okay, now go off in that energy. And so, yeah, when we shift the human out of the way, when we feel with those pulls, when we feel good, when we're in front of somebody, when we're like leading with that space of just like you say, even like your copy, your sales and stuff like that, you can Google it. For me, you can, you know, meditate, you can have your own conversations with source, you know, it's there, it's available for you. But I tell you what, it's
more fun with a friend. But I truly believe too, like, everybody gets the transformation they, not necessarily what they wanted, what they needed. You know, like our soul always knows what's best for us, and it leads us to those spots that is going to give us that. So like, for example, somebody will just use my container, for example. They might think like, oh my God, I just really need copywriting. I need to learn sales. I need to do this. But then they come into my container and they go, fuck, I don't trust myself a bit. I have terrible energy. I've got really like tangled attachment to my posts, to my business. It's my validation. Like, okay, all right, I guess I'm starting at ground zero. And so it's like everybody always comes in and gets what they need, essentially. And I feel like, you know, like, it's the best thing when somebody says, I don't know why I'm drawn to you, but I just am. Because that is a sign of intuition. And I love too that you don't complicate what you do. You're like, no, I just have conversations with people. Because like, if we label ourselves, we give ourselves limitations. Like if you put, like, you're too big and powerful to be put in a box, like you can help so many people. Doesn't matter like what they throw at you, you're like, I gotcha. Like, no big deal, because you trust yourself, because you know what's going to come out, because you are connected and source energy. Like, done and done and done. Like, obviously.
Right. And it's like, anything good that's come into my life has been honestly effortless. The things where it's been hard work, there's heartache, there's pain, there's all this stuff, is a sign for me that I'm out of my truth. I'm a man by design, absolutely connected to soul. I can
if it's not fun, I'm out. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, if it's too hard, like, you know, I've been with generations of hard workers and, you know, time for money, and this has gone on for generations. I literally had a conversation with money the other day. So this is my sort of woo-woo stuff, whatever you want to call it. But I saw money like in the corner, and I was really blaming money for not being there, not showing up. And she literally, as an energy, was like saying, look, I've only been responding to like my generations from the limitness and the conscious level that they were at. And they believed they had to work hard. They believed in struggle and, you know, lack mindset. So that's what money was doing. And she was literally crying in the corner because I was blaming money. I was like, I didn't know this, but the subconscious stuff that was coming through was like, you know, money is a worldwide killer, and money is this and money is that. Really went on the attack. And I literally saw money like, no, I'm so sorry. I
don't want to cause you any more pain. I'll just stay away from you.
Exactly. And it was like, she literally said, no, money is a response. I'm a responder. And it's like, oh my God, and all the guilt and everything. So I had to work through some of that stuff. But it's like, I have those conversations with myself. I know that I can just manifest. Like, I have a story for my engagement ring, for my laundry basket, for dishcloths, for $11,000, like whatever you name it, mortgages that I should never have had. When the kids say no, in my head I'm like, it's already done. And even my partner Simon's like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. I said, it's done. We've got it. And it came through. And it's how? And I'm like, the right people, the right time. So that's another sign, like, what is our truth? Where are you standing in your truth, ladies? For like, I had to accept and own, do you know what? Everything that good comes to me does come effortlessly. Like,
Yeah.
it just does. And owning my truth, which I've always denied myself of a wealthy, rich, luxury lifestyle because I've never experienced that. This is what my soul freaking wants. And I've been denying myself that of all this time. And it's like, burn the business down, burn the energetics down, like stand up in your truth and just own. Do you know what? I want the Porsche. I want the 7-bedroom farmhouse. I want the big stuff. And the difference is, like we're saying, is, well, of course,
Yeah,
I was
like,
born.
all right.
We are
Okay.
wealth. We are success. Like when we step
Yeah.
fully into that truth of ownership of what we want, without the guilt, without the I can't because of the fears and all the doubt and all the past, like we clear through all of that. Woo! Now who are you?
Yes. Yes. And like, it's so funny how many people, like, they'll say that, but knowing and understanding something are two very different things. And I know that I was guilty of that in the past, where I would like do the affirmations all day long, but in my body, in my head, I'm just like, you fucking bitch, that's not what you think. You're a fraud. But the thing is that, like, we have to understand is, like, the answer is always yes. So when you place your order with the universe, it's done. A lot of times we slow it down and fuck it up because we say it has to look like this, it has to come like that. And, like, you know, we say, for example, I see a lot of times with my clients, I must post and it must be perfect and it must have like 10 signups and 10 figures from this one post alone, because that's also a really big, like, marketing thing right now. A hook is like 10 figures on one post. Cool, that's awesome. Possible? Absolutely. Now, if you've started doing that expectation, what I find with my clients is they go, but I'm a failure because that hasn't happened to me yet.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, back to ground zero.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, it's just the expectation, whether it's business, life, you know, like you said, when we unchain ourselves, like, I remember we were talking in the box there and we were like, I was like, Claire, to see you like stripping down naked in a field, like, and that's like what you do for women. It's like, you just like, it's like you get all the bullshit off, all the lies, all the fuzziness and all the like yuck that has just been like holding them down and draining them. It's almost like taking off like a ton of layers of clothing. And then just like,
yeah, I remember this conversation.
I know.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, then who are you when without all the bullshit? And like you said, when all you have left is your truth, fuck, dude. It's fun, but it's scary. I would love to hear your thoughts on like, why do you believe women, like, when they come to you, like, why are they afraid to see who they are in their truth? Like, everybody says, well, I would want that, but the truth is, we're really scared of it, to be honest.
Scared shitless. And it's no wonder my word this year is safe, because I've realized that, you know, so many women sit in the healing, sit in the everything that they think is wrong. And actually, there is nothing wrong, there is nothing right. It's just when you really, and I'll tell you why they get scared of it, because you'll resonate with this, or, you know, if you're watching me and you this and you resonate with this, is each of us know the truth inside of ourselves. And if we don't know what it is, I'm sure we feel it. Like, there was always two versions of me. There was this truth, this higher self that I just knew could do anything, that could have, you know, all the high positions in corporate, that could have this wealthy lifestyle, that could live this expansive life, that could step into a truth. Like, I know that woman inside of me so strong. And I think it's that, because then our human is scared of that inner power, is scared of success. I know in the Voxer that we've been talking recently in your Voxer group, is like, and I had this for myself, I'm scared of wealth, I'm scared of the money, I'm scared of success, because I think someone's going to break into my home, I think somebody's going to kill me, because we've not been brought up to be seen. And if we have ever been seen, there's normally been a backlash of either guilt, shame, embarrassment behind it. And we learn that from a young age. Like, maybe we were at school and we had to speak out loud and we made a mistake. Woo, close us down. I remember very vividly now, and it's only come up years later, but when I was younger and I was dancing, I think the dance teacher was talking, and it was in a beautiful Victorian house. and we were in the back room, and that's where all the main dance studio was, and it had these like wrought iron doors with these very fine panels of glass, but in front of that was a bar, was the ballet bar, and teacher was busy, so I'm young, I'm holding on to this bar and I'm swinging and my feet are kicking against the door. And I said, what's this? It was almost like a swing or a slide. Like I was a child, I was probably 6, having fun, pushed it, smash, whole glass door smashed. And I remember the teacher like flying across and all the other children looking at me, and it was just like, I feel like you just want to die, curl up, and you're like, yeah, I'm fine. And everybody had to come out of the room and they had to clear it up, and it was boarded up next time we went in. Like it was pretty traumatic looking back. So it's like, okay, can't be seen, don't do anything fun, don't do too much, because we have all this rewiring around that closes us down, so we don't want to stand up in our truth, because one, you get seen, we don't know what the judgment may be, rejection, you put insert the, you know, whatever you like, the shame, the embarrassment, whatever comes from it. So we feel this power, we know our truth of who we are as an empowered woman, but when we fully step into that, we go, yeah, but then if I'm seeing this and this, then maybe, yeah, somebody's going to kill me, someone's going to break into my house, maybe someone's going to put the key down, scratch my keys, or somebody's you know, going to judge me, somebody's going to reject me, my family are going to think I'm greedy. What do we even make success mean? You know, we look at that, and I went through that pattern, and it was like greedy, spoiled, whatever came through. So there's so much that we need to untangle. And I love the fact, like you were saying about stripping off the layers. I literally was walking with Simon one day and I was like, I feel like I have like 1,000 outfits on, and I was just literally peeling off this, obviously energetically peeling off all these layers. And you say, Claire, I could just see you like naked run through a field, whatever. If you go back through my Instagram, I did a whole piece where I literally, Simon and I went into our local woods and I stripped right back, absolutely naked in the woods, photo shoot, like it was for a whole mastermind thing, because we are enough at that level. And that even that doesn't mean anything, but it was about coming back, that stripped back, without the jewelry, without the makeup, without the hairdo, without clothes, without all of these things. We are enough. It's safe to be enough. We are beautiful. We are loved. We are all of this.
So much. And I remember, like, I think it was Tony Robbins that said, he was like, to stand out is to be a target. And honestly, sometimes I think it's social suicide. And we learn, like what you said, from like a young age, like we're pack animals by nature. If we look at just like our not biography, biology, right? Like humans are social creatures, and to stand out, to be ostracized from the pack, really it does, like, it brings up those survival feelings in us. It's these feelings of like, I might be facing death. The problem is, you know, nowadays we're not facing surviving a winter alone without our pack. It's, you know, death feels like, oh my God, somebody left me a mean comment. Death feels like, oh my God, she judged me, or I sent her my offer and she said no. This, you know, this must mean something about me and Marcella, and it doesn't. It doesn't whatsoever. So much. I think that like there'd be so many more women making more money, being more seen, having more fun, like living like what you said, like your truth. Like, I love the work that you do. You just unpack all that, just like really gently, just pull that aside and just like, let me introduce you to who you've, no. You said reunite in the Voxer. You're like, let me reunite you with the person you've always been, but you were, you know, told stay away from her. She's not okay. And she's dangerous. I know for myself, I had to unpack so many things that I had circling like around my success. Like, I remember thinking that my husband would leave me because I would emasculate him. Like, if I made more money, if I was so seen, if I was so visible, then it would make him, you know, leave, which was just me arguing for my smallness. And then, I mean, and if he did, then I guess like it was meant to be, right? Like, I can't control you.
Exactly. And this is like, you know, this is the language that I talk, and I couldn't fully step into this for a long time out of fear of judgment, or, you know, not being seen as being empathetic. But I literally pull back all the humanism and all the mind stuff that says, you know, who's to say we're supposed to be with one person for the whole entire life process? Who's to say that that person didn't just come in to give you a child and move on? Like, there is no, when you strip right back, and these are the messages I get from source, but we get so attached and we add so much meaning to things like partners, children, business, money,
Oh
assets,
God.
like all the things, that it's
Yes.
like we then hold on to them so much because it means so much if we let them
Yes.
go or they go. And it's just like, but what if this was the divine plan? What if you're supposed to be with that guy for 10 years? What if you're just supposed to be
Right.
with this guy for 1 year? What if you're supposed to spend your entire life with this one person? Like, we just use the relationships as an
Right.
example. Like, none of it means anything. And I had a very big guilt trip that I had to overcome when I left my marriage nearly 8 years ago with 2 young kids, with depression, bipolar, and yeah, because I stood into my truth and went, do you know what? This was never what it was meant to be.
This
And
isn't correct anymore.
I
Yeah.
sacrificed myself out of fear of, you know, maybe not having better, or, you know, like you say, you play down small and it's just like, yeah, this is all amazing. This is how it was. And, you know, husband, 2 kids, and that was everything I ever wanted. And yeah, it was never enough because that wasn't my truth. It wasn't just to be married and have kids. It was to
Right.
step into this power that I knew was inside of me. It was to step and empower others. Like, there's a mission inside of me, there's a purpose inside of me that had to be lived. And I felt so shameful and guilty for separating the family, for splitting up the family, for not
Right.
accepting that that was enough. And it's like, our truth is, we are built for so much fun, so much excitement, so much
Yes.
wealth, all the
So
freaking
much.
stuff. Like, let's own that. And even if you're not into like the materialistic, the stuff like that, maybe you want this beautiful organic farm and you're going to feed like
Right.
your community for nothing. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's when you own that. And I think this is like, we was going back to, you know, what you were saying, where people love who you are and your energy. What it comes back to is people love your confidence. People love how they feel around you, like, because you remind them of their truth inside. And that, if people started to buy from that place rather
Yeah.
than what they think they need or what's wrong and all this kind of stuff, just step into
Right.
that and own it. And but before that, even, like, is recognizing that's all they need to do in their business. Stand in your confidence, know who you are, own your truth. This is what sells. This
The
is what
amount,
attractive.
yes, the amount of women who would make 6 figures, multi 6 figures this year, if they did one, like, okay, I've said this to certain clients too. I've been like, I don't want you, like, turn off your social media. You are no longer allowed to scroll. You're only allowed to create. You don't consume content. You're like, I want you, literally, your job is play all the time.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have your best and most inspired content through that form. You know, and I'll tell them, it's just like, you have everything you need. Like, you do. And there's an empowered place of investing, and then there's a disempowered. And a lot of times women get into business and we're not taught how to be entrepreneurs in school. Like the example I gave was like, sit down, shut up, be quiet, and listen to somebody else. And then you get into entrepreneurship and we bring that kind of mentality into like, well, this person has made $1 million in an hour, so I must therefore follow her in her exact step, unrealizing the fact that, like, what is going to work and be correct for her. And I say correct, not right or wrong, because there is truly no right or wrong. There's no rules in business. There's no rules to you. There's no rules in business. So what is correct or incorrect for you is what matters. But a lot of times we're like, oh, that system worked for them, so it therefore must work for me. And which is, you know, I probably could have spent a few years, or shaved a few years off, if I would have understood that earlier, which is now like what I do with my clients, because I'm like, oh my God, like, let me save you some time and like thousands of dollars. but it's true, you know, we just sit there and we don't trust who we are, what we have to say, that how we say it is enough. We don't trust it, like, however it comes out, that's how it was just fucking meant to be, you know. And we hide behind, in particular, we'll just use content here, we hide behind trying to sound so fucking smart. We, like, I did this too. Oh my God. Yeah. I actually have a really extensive vocabulary, which I'm pretty proud of, but like, I would use like really huge words that like nobody with an average attention span is going to want to deal with on freaking, you know, scrolling. And it was just like, why did I do that? Because I was trying to overcompensate for what I was selling. I wanted to sound smart. I wanted people to think I was enough and all things. And now it's like, it's funny, I'll be like writing content, I'm like, how can we make this so that, like, I always practice on my teenage son. He's 15. If he can understand it, we're
good.
good. And
Yeah.
it's not like talking down to people. It is just direct. And like a lot of times people don't trust themselves to have it be simple, have it be direct, have it just be their truth. And it doesn't need to have fancy lingo or jargon or graphics or like whatever. Like if you want it later, cool. I have nothing against that. But like it's not needed first. So
Right.
yeah. So much. Like so many women, if they just owned their truth, like the amount of money that would pour into them right now. So many women don't actually even want a business, to be honest. And they say they do, but then they're like, why?
Yeah. And trust me, I've been doing, you know, over the years, I was like questioning that as well. And went, hold on a minute, if I had all the money in the bank, like millions and
Would I
millions,
still be doing what I'm doing? Yeah.
would I still be doing? I was like, no, it was bloody hard work. I was doing too much. And this is where I was like, you were saying, you know, the ladies with the millions or whatever, what are they doing? I must do what they're doing. Like I was like, ugh, it makes one throw up now, but I was that person and I learned that. But it was like, you need a group, a Facebook group. You need to be running programs. You need to be doing free masterclasses. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing it. And I did all of it. And it was just sucking my energy. It was soul destroying. And this is where like, I started sieving through it and deconditioning last year. But it was like, okay, do you know what? I don't really want any of the energetics of my business. I just burnt the whole thing down at the beginning of the year and was just like, okay, like I haven't got time for the hard work anymore, the struggle,
I can't be bothered.
I can't be bothered with it. Like, come on, seriously, what lights me up? What are you really good at? Oh, do you know what you do? Yeah, conversations light me the F.
Yeah, like, and this is proof right here. This conversation is so fucking potent and powerful and sharp, and it's slicing through the newsfeed, whether people are on live, on the replay. It's going to work in your sleep. This is your smartest, most effective strategy where you're doing less and going to be making more. 100%. Whether that's in wealth, money, prosperity, followers, networking, all the things. Like, and so it's like, I can't be bothered to host a free masterclass. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, read my content. That's free. Go ahead. Like,
and it takes a minute. Yeah. So it takes a minute because we see these ladies like with the end result that we're wanting. And so we go, okay, well, we must want to do this. And if I'm just doing one-on-one all the time, then I can't scale and I can't do this and I can't do this. I literally did the exercise and, you know, lowered my prices, looked at all my prices. I was like, this is easy now. Like there is no resistance around money now. I can actually hold more clients now. All I want is one-on-one stuff. I don't teach. I can't teach what I do. It's an internal thing. It's an empowered channel thing. And I have to be one-on-one with that person because I'm having a conversation with their energy. I'm having a conversation with their higher self and their soul. So I can't teach what I do. Like the stuff that honestly, if you could have a live video or something going on inside my head, recording what goes on and in my body, people will be sitting back and going, what world have I just entered? Because this stuff is like, this woman needs locking up. Like seriously, that's what happens in my head. So when I'm doing this work, it's one-on-one. Do you know what? I'm going to own the shit out. I don't want to do programs anymore. I haven't done programs for a long time. I always wanted 10 women in my containers, whether it's mastermind, whatever. And I got really open and honest. And I was like, no, if I ever run a mastermind, I don't want any more than 5 women. Like that is my max. We are going.
I love smaller
ones. In smaller stuff. It's one-on-one, and then the time frame changes. And already I had like this huge suite of this one-on-one stuff where I've got more freedom, more time, like I feel more liberated. It gets to be more fun. It's got zero resistance around it. And yet when I added up all my figures, like in a muscular, I love numbers, it was making like 3 times more than what I thought in my mind it would do. And it's just like, get truthful and own that shit and go, yeah, this is what I love to do. This is the numbers I can take in a week that makes me feel really good. You know, impacting whoever I want to impact. And because I would never do sort of one-on-one small offer, like just one-off sessions. I was like, no, longer containers, because that's what everybody does. 3, 6, 9, 12 months, like all this stuff. And it was like, actually, people come to me for like 60 minutes and have the biggest breakthroughs. Why would you not just, because my mind was kicking in. I wasn't stood in my truth. I wasn't owning the power of what I was doing. And it's like, ladies, own that. And like you say, like your X Factor will be the most simplest thing. It will come to you so
Yep.
effortlessly.
You'll think that you missed it. Like you'll be like, wait, that's it. I've been
Yeah.
searching this entire time and I haven't been like monetizing on like, but wait, I don't even know how to monetize on this because it's too simple. I don't even know how to explain what I do. Like it's crazy. But yeah, your X Factor is literally just like, for most people, it's just how you exist without the shoulds and the woulds and the coulds, and just holding more trust and certainty in that. And it's going to look different for everybody else. A lot of people, sometimes you've been hiding it your entire life. And so we got to do more mindset work in that area or whatever. For some people, they've actually have just been talking about the wrong thing. Like for myself, I'll use myself as an example. Like I have done every kind of business under the sun on the internet. I've been in network marketing. I've done affiliate marketing. I've been a coach and a mentor. I've done group programs. I've done whatever. And I literally was always like trying to like have this massive impact, be like so different. And my X Factor is truly like, and I kind of hate when people say it, but let me explain. It's my energy. And I happen to be good at copywriting. I happen to have the gift of gab. I can hear what people are saying, what they mean to say, and I can make it bite sizable for somebody else. And it's literally like I do it all the time. Like when my friends come to me and they're like, I feel this, and this. I'm like, okay, so you actually this, and this. And they're like, yes. And so it's like, okay, well, I can help you with your business with that too, and all the things. And so it's like, for me, I felt so simple going back to that. Or it was like, everybody does it. Everybody does content. But it's like, again, lie. It was like, actually, nobody does it like me, to be honest. And then when I literally, I don't consume anybody else's content except if I truly love this person and like they just make me feel really good, but there's no sense of, oh, I should do it like that, And so that's when it really started to shine through. And when I started monetizing on that, and just like, so it's funny, last fall I was like, I'm never doing a group program again. Actually, I think like New Year's Day, like somebody messaged me about a group program. It's like, I don't do group programs anymore. And like literally like this weekend I was like, I'm rebranding my business. I'm going more hands off, and like I've got a group program that is going to come out, and it's literally the essentials. It is like all the workbooks. They can take themselves through it, self-paced. Like I'll touch in what they need me, and then like mastermind people just for collaboration and communication back and forth if they want the concert experience. But like literally, like I said, I don't do anything super special. It is literally, you can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can listen. But I promise you, I'm going to make it more fun. I'm going to make it faster. I'm going to slice your learning curve. And I think that, when people get around me, I tend to bring out the best in them that they didn't, like, maybe they don't even know. And so that boldness in itself, if like all they did was take that and put that into their content, put that into their offer, it would sell out, like, because it's certainty. So and it's so funny. And like what you said, it's like conversations. This is such a powerful conversation. Like I know, like we're live and we're talking about, like, I'm gonna go through the day and I'm gonna like thinking about things, and I'm like, wow, like that's really landing now. Like, it's like, and then that's like your exercise, just like, dude, let's just have a fucking coffee or cocktail, your choice. Let's talk. What do you need? Like,
and that's what this whole series is about. Like, bringing other women, leaders and empowered women to be able to have these conversations. So this is like my little show, every week now I'm gonna be in these women for this like soul truth conversation show. Like, let's own a friggin' show. I know I'm gonna have a TV station, one channel one day.
I feel like you're destined to be on TV, or like I can just see you like an Oprah, like you said, like with your chair, just like inviting people in and just having these conversations. Like, yes. Like, if that's all you do, and then like the rest of the time you just go play. Oh my God, how fun. How fun.
And like, you were talking about your X Factor. It's like, what I do when it's not even coaching, like when I'm with a client, obviously we chat, but this is like the uniquism. The only way I can explain it is like a little bit like what you're doing with your superpower is like, for me, so when my clients come to me, they talk and they tell me all this stuff. So I see all the words and all the data are flying by. Well, I'll go that way. It's all flying by. So I'm kind of listening to the human, but then all of a sudden the soul will throw out this word and it just stands out. And I go, that's the word, that. And then I start asking them questions around, and they're like, how do you know that? How did you, I didn't even, how? And so I communicate with their soul. So with my clients, it's slightly different. Like this is, great soulful, truthful conversations. But then the work I do is almost like surgery, where I can go in, I talk with the soul, and the soul will literally tell me what they need to shift, what's holding them back, like where they're not expanding themselves and stepping into their truth. Like it ignores all the data that's flying around. So it doesn't matter how much the client's talking. I know what is the BS stuff that flies out. And I love what you were saying. Like people need to hear what they need to hear, but they want to hear what they want to hear. I literally have a clause in my stuff that says, I will not tell you what you want. I will tell you what you need, because that's where their soul is telling me. And I'd be doing a disservice if I don't express. And sometimes even when I'm, pulling through source and they're really blunt, and I'd be like, I can't tell them that. And then I tell them, and I'm like, and it comes out. Even that now is like, this is what an empowered woman can take that. And so having a conversation like that with my clients, having conversations like this with yourself is just like, okay, let's do this all day long. What, and you can get paid for it? Like, hell yeah, that's it. That's
absolutely.
So I would love to know, Alex, sorry, carry on if you had a point. Go.
No, you were finishing your point.
Yeah, I would love to know, like, when you weren't in your truth, because everybody may be going, oh yeah, it's great for you, you're confident, you've done your stuff, and your empowered self, and you can feel it inside, and whatever BS you want to tell us now. Like, some people may not be resonating with that yet, or they're feeling that, and they go, but because there are these buts on the end of it. I would love to know, what was life like when you were not in your truth, when you were not empowered and connected to yourself?
The amount of energy I spent in worry was devastating. I wasn't sleeping. I constantly was battling myself with I beat myself up too. I was always do more. Because like you, I grew up with no pain, no gain. Like so much of my identity was attached to my achievement. My worth was attached. It's like a strand of tangled Christmas lights. Like it was a lot. And so what my day to day looked like, and if you're in this spot, like you're so close to being out of it, to be honest. Like it's not like you need so much work to get out of it. It's just more of like a choice to choose every day. It's like I'm no longer doing that. But I was spent a lot of times looking for business, looking how other people were doing it, studying strategy. I consumed myself in personal development and podcast, and any kind of coaching I could get my hands on or afford. I did that. I literally would burn my business down multiple times just to make an offer look different, or I would jump niches just to see. Like I was always throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what would stick. So I did take radical responsibility for my results, but like what that looked like was, well, I don't actually know what I'm good. I don't trust myself. Like I always knew I wanted to talk about like things like money, and I wanted to talk about confidence, and I've always loved energy and stuff like that. But my truth was, I didn't want to do trauma work. I didn't want to sit and listen to somebody's like mindset stuff all the time. But then I would like sell programs for that because they would sell. And so it's just, I would attract misaligned clients where like they weren't actually ready for what I wanted to teach them. And so they wouldn't have the best experience in my containers, because all of a sudden they'd get in, think it's going to be one thing, and then I'm teaching another thing, and they're like, what the fuck, man? Like, and so there was just a lot of fear, a lot of worry, fear of where my next client was coming from, fear of if it was enough. I questioned my prices all the time. There was a point where I couldn't sell a free thing or $100 thing, and that literally was like so devastating to me. Like I made it mean so much, which it never did. It just was like, that was like that was I remember like, that was like the point where I was like, things have to change. And then also like, I was like working on my wedding day, sending links on my wedding day. Like it was just, my worth was consumed and attached with my business. And, so if that's what it looks like for you, but then you're preaching ease and you're preaching flow and effortless. I mean, I did that too. I was like the queen, but then like, I know why I didn't call in the people. Like I felt just like a fraud. Like I was like, there's just no way. Like if somebody were to pull back the curtain, they'd literally be disgusted of like what I was saying versus what I was actually doing.
And that we felt on the online space.
It was.
you can pull that out so much. Like if somebody came around here today, like for me, I'm still, breakfast is about 10, 11 o'clock. I'm just, go out and walk the dog, and at the minute, I'm head deep into some real juicy stuff in my business. So I have been a little bit full on the last few days, but you'll see me there like midday. I need to go and do the shopping and get the stuff for the kids, and it just is how it is. Like, and that's where you stand in your truth. So if you're not standing out, if you're, having to do everything I put a post out the other day, like, you don't need to shout loud to be seen, but the same, you don't need to perform, to be heard. You don't need to perform to be seen. Like, this is it. So 100%. So not being in your truth is fear, doubt, is sabotage, self-sabotage. Let's go down that one, like massive route. It has an effect. Like we sacrifice, we push our families out. Time is like, we're clinging on to time, we're clinging on to clients and prices. I love what you're saying with prices. Like, I remember I couldn't even sell $97, like, and then next minute you try and sell a 2,000 container, or I sold a £6,000 dollar container in like 1 hour. So it's like, it's never about the money or the number. It's the attachment and the meaning that we place into that. So if you're basing your truth on what you're selling, how many comments, like your prices, then you are not in your truth, my love. You are not. And we say this with like the most loving heart. My intention here is not to, pull you down, but to just open up and give you a bit of clarity and a bit of glass to look through, to go, okay, am I in my truth? Am I not in my truth? Do I want to have this conversation with my soul? Do I need to reach out, or do I desire, or I don't know, I just feel in this pull to Claire or whatever, or what, I need to go and work with that. Like, scrape back the bullshit, get out of your head, get back into your body, back into your truth, and come from that place. It gets to be effortless. Like, it, oh my God, honestly, what gets magnetized and pulled into your world will blow your friggin' mind.
And the amount of, I had this conversation with one of my private clients, the amount of energy that you conserve and can pour into your clients, into your containers, into yourself, when you're not always comparing or scrolling or worrying or acting out of like fear-based, like, that's why I believe now that my container is the best it has ever been, and it's only getting better. Like, we've only scratched the surface, because all of that extra, if there was 97% of my day was spent in comparison and worry, and should I do this, should I do that, and all that, like, now that all went into my container, and like, that's why it's like, it's so good. It's so good, and it takes care of everything, because it just does. All that extra energy, like, it's just so much better. And then I get to show up and be so much better for my clients, so much more potent, and like, just straight to the point. And I'm not dead by the time I get to them, because I haven't been worrying myself sick all day, and all the things. And so it's amazing. And I will say that, like, what you're saying, like, about coming back to your truth, it's not income dependent, because when I couldn't sell $100 thing or a free thing, I was already a multi-six-figure earner in business. That has nothing to do with how much money you're pulling in, what you've made, whatever it is. So like, that's the other thing, is like, I would shame myself, because I was like, this is beginner shit. The lies we tell ourselves. No, we got shit at every level, babe. But and so it's just like, the truth will set you free. And that sounds cliche, but it's true. And like, now, like you said, it's like, my days, I work literally like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't do more than like 1, maybe 2 calls a day, because I don't want to be tied to my phone. I just don't, or my computer. And like, not good or bad, right or wrong, just that's what's correct for me. You know, it's like, I watch Ozark until 11 o'clock and I sleep in, and I really don't ever start work until 11 a.m. if like that. I'm more of like a noon 1 o'clock person.
Right.
But it's just like, I come first, and when I come first, I can give so much more in my containers to my clients. It's so much more potent. I've never had a client have an issue with that. You know, if you've got your own boundaries, they respect that, and then they form them for themselves, and then business is so much more fun. So much more fun.
100%. Yeah, it's like I have 2 days where I take client calls. I said that it's like me time. It's like, well, if I want to learn something, or if I want to Netflix, like I have no problem anymore sitting in front of Netflix, like bot sets, going through the series, like good food, like my time out, baths, I'm always in the bath, like, and I know this sounds cliche, everyone's like, oh yeah, you earn money in the bath and you do this and you do this, but this is a point when you step into your truth, and it may not be baths for you, and it may not be Netflix for you, and it may not be walking around the woods for an hour or so every day, it may not be that stuff, but what we're saying is like, you get to do you, that you get own your truth. If you're up at 5:30 every morning, you're working out by 6, like go do that. That's not me, that's your truth. Like do whatever you need to do. I'll work out when I need to work out, point blank. Love it. I love it.
The best ideas, like the best creativity, the best truths come through, at least for me, when I'm not, like for myself, it's not in a client call. I'll definitely get like ahas that I talk about, but like the original, the ones that everybody goes, oh my God, how did you come up with that? That's genius. That's brilliant. It's usually because I was on a treadmill or working out and listening to music, or I was driving and I went past a billboard and I renamed my entire program Element, like in your element, because I was on a billboard and I was heading on vacation. I was really looking forward to dinner and a glass of wine. Like I was not thinking, oh, I need to be inspired today. Like I need to make content today. It's so funny when you kind of just like loosen up, everything comes to you. When you truly let it be easy.
Yeah. And it can be triggering. This brings me back to like when you were saying, you know, why women not stand up in their truth, and what are they scared of and stuff like that. I remember being in a container, was it last year or 2 years ago? I can't remember now. And I would do just that. I would wake up in the morning, kids would go off to school. I started running for some reason, but I started running around the woods with my dog, and it would be whoo, 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 whoo. And then I get into the mastermind container, like, you know, I go through and go, oh my gosh, you know, programs come through. This is the next graphic was done in 5 minutes. Like, dun, 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 dun. I got 11 episode program. I go in, put it out there, sold like within 24 hours, less than that. I was triggering. How does this happen? The coach was like, you know, she was going, well, because she's just out living her life. All my stuff comes through if I'm cooking, baking, walking around the woods. Because here's the thing, ladies, how can things come to you when you're always in this forward pushing energy? There is no room. And that's the space that I create when I work with women, is like, and I literally, you know, you're talking about the stripping off the naked thing. Last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember, was literally a mastermind called Space, and it was empty. There was absolutely nothing in it. It was just come onto the Zoom, and it was holding that space for them, and that was all the naked stuff. Like, you didn't need any of this stuff.
I love
and
that.
I was like, can I sell a blank space to women? And I'm like, how many women go, I don't have time, I can't do my thing, I can't think, I don't get downloads. It's like, okay, let's just get in this space. Let's just rift a little bit. Let's, you know, join up with these energies. Let's have a conversation, or let's do, you know, doom, doom, doom.
Oh,
it actually didn't
that was like
sell.
another like evidence for you. It's like conversations are just like your thing. That's part of your X factor. It's like women just, they want to be near you because you unleash little pockets of their brilliance or what they need, whether it's soul or just even like this, like you just have this natural ability to just like unlock, and like they feel so safe, so seen. Like what you said, they don't have to show up. Like we live in such a filtered world, and you know, everything is do this, do that, look like this, don't share this, or blah blah blah. And my God, the how good it feels to just come to a space just in your truth. Like how fucking, like, what a godsend. What a godsend you are.
And it's so funny because people are like messaging me in my inbox, like, I love your transparency, your authenticity, like we don't see this. And people like, just through maybe a little conversation in the inbox, they're like, oh my God, I feel so empowered now. Like I'm off for the day, I'm good. I've like had, because a lot of people aren't plugged into source energy. That's why they don't have the power within them. That's why they don't feel empowered. That's why they're not in their truth. And if you can't get to that space yourself, then literally I'm like the connector block between source and the soul for them. I'm just like, that's it, like this little connection block that just, like, if you plug into me, you plug into yourself, you plug into source. Like I am the channel, I'm the empowered channel. So it's like, just being in my energy, people feel empowered. But here's the thing, like my clients show up now less and less in my containers, because they don't need me. They are self, like I love it, because I used to have the needy client. where they'd leave me 15 minutes like voice things in Voxer, and I'd wake up, and you multiply that out, I'd have like 2 hours listening to do a day, and I was like, I'm not doing great containers, like this is too much. But that's because that was the energy I was in there. Now I'm in the energy, even with my coach, like I'm hardly in the Voxer unless there's like, well, this just come through, download, and we have like bi-weekly calls, and that's exactly how I operate in my container now, because I'm not here to hold my clients. My clients like, I don't need you. I need you for a minute. Can we jump in? Yeah, sure. Jump in, jump out. Don't need you to, like, and we get to do all that. Like, we're not here to save and rescue our clients. Like,
God, no.
My
That's
clients,
so disempowering to them. You know?
Exactly. We're disempowering.
Yeah. And I was thinking too, you know, I don't know who I was talking to. It was somebody in a mastermind, one of mine. And I was just like, you know, you have to see your clients when they come to you as their highest self, whatever that is, whatever they tell you they want, whether it's, you know, whatever. But like, if anytime that you start babysitting or holding their hand, or you start wanting to take their results and give yourself their credit, like, you know, it's kind of like you're
This was the
disempowering
subject
them.
we were going to hit on, wasn't it? I remember we were having
Yes.
a conversation.
Yeah, I saw it a few times in the news feed today. I was scrolling for just a minute this morning because I was getting notifications. But like, this is one of my pet peeves. I hate when coaches go, my client made $12,000 in 10 seconds with me. Sign up here. Like, I just feel like it's bad marketing.
And I'm guilty. Like, I did that. Like,
I did too, because honestly,
yeah,
I've thought about like making like a bullshit post and be like, oh my God, I just made $150,000 in 10 minutes. I've got 3 spots. Like, DM me now. It would fill. But I can't. It would fill. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there's so much that goes behind that. So much that goes behind that. And like, if you lead with money, often you attract people that don't have it, for one, and two, they don't always really want it. Like, they want you to tell you what they want to hear. Right? Here's my formula. Take it. Okay, go play. Like, but they might need, like what you said, there's so much that they need to hear that is nothing to do with the income.
Oh yeah. I had this, so this is pure evidence. Like last year when I did my 25K in 6 hours, like yeah, the ladies that come were having such incredible breakthroughs. But it was like, but when the money, and I'm like, do you realize we've just gone back like 40 odd years of your life where you haven't been able to, you know, wake up every morning feeling happy because we found out that, you know, you were soulfully dead back at this age, and we've undone all of that now, and you can move forward in this. But when's the money coming? I'm like, you're missing a trick. Like,
money's a byproduct of this. And also, the notice of lack of it is keeping you in lack.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like when I'll have some clients are like, but like, I really have like this $10,000 goal. Like, when is it coming in? I'm like, what? It's here. It's now. Like, if you're always putting it in the future, that's where it's going to exist.
Push it out. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's one day, someday, it's like, start declaring that it is here and it is now. And I think I heard somewhere, it was like, the stories we tell ourselves yesterday is our reality today. So if you're always like, it's in the future, where is it? Well, like, then you're playing hide and go seek with it.
But this is some of the money work, you know, I was saying with the money energy, like how I found my money energy, and she's absolutely incredible. And I have little conversations with her, and, you know, in the morning I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, so I need to get you to work, money. Can you go get me more money? And she was like, hello, I'm here. Like, it's all here. And it was like, oh my God, like, yeah, because
we appreciates, yes.
I slipped into my human, and it was just like, how can I get, I'm right here. And literally, like, she was here in this energy, like literally seducing my body. And she was like, hello, how much closer do I need to get to show you? Just because one is not in your reality right now, but hello, I'm here. And it was just like, oh my gosh, just like, you know, held on to her, and we were just having conversations. It was just like, yes, she's right here, because I will never forget this. And, you know, we've all heard this saying, but everything, you know, is created twice: first in the mind, second in reality. And so many people know that, but they don't embody that. They don't live that. They don't trust it. They don't breathe it. It's like, yeah, but that never happens to me. Never happens to me. And it's like, well, it does, but you're just bringing in what's in your mind. Like, oh my gosh,
Right.
all freaking day.
I literally will tell my clients, like, they'll say something around those lines, and I'll be like, so how's that working out for you?
Yeah.
Like, this never happens for me. Like, nobody ever signs up. And, you know, how do I shift this? And I'm like, well, look at the story you're telling. Like, obviously, like, this is why they're not. So
Yeah.
what do you
The
need?
process is
And honestly, yeah. And then what do you need to do to shift it? Like, not me. The thing that I say that helps me do that is going to be so different than what you need, you know? So, yeah.
And this is why, you know, I think it's so needed that women have the conversation with their own soul, with themselves.
Yes. Inward first.
Inward first. Like, I get all my guidance from inside.
Yes.
Always.
You know, it's like God, he or herself, however you want to say it, could come down and tell you something, and only you would know best for you.
Right.
Like, literally, because we know, like, we are source, we are part of it. When you trust yourself, that's when you start moving accordingly, and you get, you know, you're so just open, you're an open channel to receive those next steps and to not question them, to not look left or right or wait for permission, and you just put it out there and you just move, and you know that, like, there's so many seeds being planted every single fucking day. You know, it's like, stop just putting so much fucking pressure on every single thing you do. Like, every post you write, every journal, every meditation. Yeah, just like, do it for fucking fun. Do it. Like, I actually wrote a post about this morning. It's like I was dreaming about this last night, and it must have been because I was gonna say it on here today. But like, I was like, I'm so unattached to my business, and I feel really good saying that. It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean anything like that. But like, I was looking at my business like, that feels like a playground.
Right.
And I like that. I like that it's like, it's just what I do. It's not who I am. It has nothing to do with my worth. Nothing to do with like the power that is here. What's coming, you know? It gets to evolve, and it gets to be a playground. And that's when I really do feel like it becomes super magnetic. And if it's a playground, there's no expectation, there's no white knuckling it, then it becomes a really easy path of least resistance for money to flow through if you don't make it mean anything.
Exactly.
Easy peasy.
Right. I love it. So Alex, where can people find you on the online space, and what do you have going on right now?
Ooh, yeah.
Happened to you?
Well, I'm kind of moving. I'm still available on Facebook. You can just message me here on Facebook. Kind of moving over to Instagram and TikTok. That's just what felt like the correct next move. But I'm always gonna be on Facebook. Facebook's like my hometown. I'm just having so much fun with like reels and videos, and like, you know, like we were talking about, my energy is a large selling point for my services and myself, plus it's fun, so that's where I'm kind of trying to put some more energy. But Facebook's hometown, so I'm here, so just message me here. Offers I have, if you want to write the essential or learn the essentials of copywriting and launches, I do a group program called X Factor Experience. It's broken down into 3 phases. Actually, Claire got to see the kind of behind the scenes, and she's been helping me with her professional and lovely opinion how we can make it better and all the things. So it's basically, you go into 3 phases. First things first, we figure out who you are, what you're good at. We look at your energy and we say, okay, actually, like what Claire was saying, how do you want to show up in your business? And are you actually doing it that way? And if not, time to switch. So there's workbook phase 2. We talk about who your ideal client is. It might surprise you. It's maybe not who you think it is. And then also we help you create an offer that'll showcase what you're good at. So for example, with Claire, we did like, oh dude, you just meant to have conversations. Group programs, fuck it. Master classes, fuck it. Like whatever, like conversations, that's where you're at. This is where you stay. And then we go into like, you know, launch stuff. We figure out what's going to feel good to you. I personally like really chill launches. But we look at like all your stuff and everything piles. And I'm really proud of this, to be honest. Like, I created this drag and drop content template. So if you're feeling stuck with your content, you plug in different areas. It's like, you know, line 1, start here, and you take from up here and you plug that in. And so you have your words, you're writing all the time in a structure that's going to sell and be really clean and crisp and sharp in the news feed. So if you want the essentials, I have a group program that starts mid to late February. It's 5 weeks long. You get to network with other women. You get to hang. You get to chat. You get to write content together, get feedback. I kind of pop in and out of the group and give you guys help too. That starts mid February, mid or late February. We'll see. So that is like essentials package. Everybody gets that one. If you, that's it's kind of like the Spotify album. It's like you can download that and you have it and you can listen to it as much as you want.
Yeah.
But if you want like the concert experience with me, then I have a mastermind that's coming up this 3 months. And I actually just launched a special today, two one-on-one in like sessions. This is perfect for somebody who is launching at the moment and they want to just like add some fire, some gasoline, just make sure it's really nice and fun, that their offer is perfect, all the things. So that is on special too. So that's what I have going on in my world.
I love it. And yeah, anybody, yeah, I've been in Alex's beta program for this, and it's just freaking amazing. Like you say, your energy and how you pull things out is just, that's your gift, that's your superpower, that's your X factor. Like, go friggin' do it. I will shout you from the rooftops. And
I appreciate it. It's been so fun to have you in it. Like, it's so fun. It's so fun.
You. And then anybody, yeah, if you're looking to connect back to your truth, I hear so many women that say, but I want to do this for myself. Like, I want to stop investing in everybody else. Like, I want to be able to do this for myself. I'm like 100% with you. We overinvest, we overconsume, we overlearn. Like, if you're done with all that stuff and you just want to come right back to your truth inside yourself and have that conversation with your soul and ask her whatever you want to ask, and get that from yourself, so you can empower yourself, so you're not dependent on a coach, you're not dependent on healers.
Oh my God,
You're taking back your power, like you're connecting back to yourself and stepping in your truth. I literally only work one-on-ones. I have one-off one-on-one 60-minute sessions, which I have cut all the prices. All my prices have been cut right now, just because it feels good and because I can, for no other reason than that. And I realized, it's just a non-brainer, basically. So if you want a one-off session, and you're watching this live, I am going to do a special because they're normally $444. And anybody who's watched this, if you message me with the word truth in your message, you're going to get $100 off. So I'll run some of those for $333. I also run Voxer only because, like we say, the energy in the voice is an activation. It will send you back into your own power and your truth. I do Voxer. I do a slightly longer 3-month one-on-one, but they're bi-weekly calls. Like, this is nothing. And I'll tell you why I did these, and I don't know if you're the same as me, but I love to come in for what I want, and then I like to disappear. Like, come in, come out.
Same.
I don't like the weekly calls. Like, I don't want to feel like I have to show up. So I made the container as like, do you know what, today, yeah, I want to plug into Claire. No, I'm out. So I just extended a little bit for 3 months. So I got 3 months packages. I've got my Voxer only, and currently I've got one-off session, 60-minute session. So if any of that is up for you and you're really feeling pulled to get back into yourself, so you don't need to invest and listen to everybody else, then friggin' I cannot wait. I cannot wait to pull you up.
They are like literally in the best hands. Like, and I'll brag on you for a second, because I have had the experience of sharing and like the beta group with you and like hearing you like in action in Voxer. Okay, so you guys, I'm running like this beta group, and the whole sole purpose was to help get them some results with my program, also to refine it and make sure that it's like crystal clear as it's coming out, because I'm moving a little bit more evergreen with this one. But it's been really fun because I put all of these women in a Voxer chat so we could have conversations, so we could, if something didn't make sense, we could go through it and all that stuff. And I will tell you what, usually when people come into my containers, I'm the one that's like, they ask me questions. Claire literally has had no obligation to coach or to help people or to mentor them in here, and she has shown up, and just the breakthroughs that she has gotten, so many of the women in there, just out of like abundance from herself and just asking questions and just taking the time to have a conversation, they are so next level. Like, I like sit back and like take notes and like listen, because she'll hear things that I don't pick up on or whatever, and it's just been so just phenomenal to watch. And so if you were to get in her container, like, that is what she's doing in like just like a free kind of like test group that I'm running. I can't even imagine the amount of support and just love and breakthroughs that you would have if you got a chance to sit with her one-on-one and just soul to soul conversations. Like, fuck, dude, it would be out of this world. So if I can say anything, it's like, I've seen some of the behind the scenes of how you are, and one of the best out there. Like, jump at this opportunity.
I literally started singing then. Jump. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. I love you so much. Look, go reach out to either if you're feeling the pull, not because your head takes you anywhere. I don't deal with clients. I do not take on clients who come with their head, their mind. I think I shouldn't know. Forget all that crap. Get back to your truth.
You know.
If something has lit you up today through either of us, then just reach out. It doesn't matter what it is. We don't know what it is. It doesn't matter if you buy it, you don't buy it. There's none of that. It's just, do you know what? My soul pulled me. Can I go and discover what this may be? Like, hell yes, just come on over. Yeah. Let's do this for either or. Alex, I love you so much. Thank you for doing this. Episode 1.
Yeah. So fun. Yes, I love it.
Go have a great day. I love you.
You too.
Thank you. Keep doing
I love you.
Take care. Bye.